3 records in a row now, Disturbed has put out the debut at #1. That, if you don't know, that kind of thing doesn't happen very often. I think it's happened to less than 10 bands in the history of music. Are you able to pause during this time in your life and just kind of think about what's happening to you and what's happening to your band?
I haven't had a whole lot of time to pause, period.
Really? Because when you're an old man, you're going to look back on this particular time period
I appreciate
as the
that,
time.
the when I'm an old man.
Absolutely. But you know what I mean? Like, this is a very special time. This, you know,
no, absolutely.
And are you able to appreciate it right now?
At times. Sometimes you're just so thrown into the middle of it that it's difficult to remove yourself from it and then look at the picture. But it's easier to do when you're on stage. Feel the vibe of the crowd, see the crowds growing, see their intensity growing, seeing the responsiveness build. I think that's when you really start to realize just how much you're translating to people. When each time you come back to a respective territory, the crowd increases by 1/3 or doubles in size. That's kind of what you're looking for. So as long as there's that continued build and that continued growth, that's when I start to feel justified.
And
what's going on.
And when you're performing, are you actually conscious of those things? I mean, you can be thinking to yourself, or are you just kind of lost in what you're doing?
It's kind of a combination. You definitely do have to be lost in what you're doing. The music sort of takes over. And you need to start focusing on making sure that everyone in the crowd is releasing what they've come there to release. You can't help but notice or feel a greater dynamic, more diversity within the crowd. Not necessarily the stereotypical 70% male audience that there was in the beginning, which is now shifting, all sorts of ages, all sorts of backgrounds, all sorts of walks of life. And we love seeing that. We love seeing the growth.
Disturbed was a very early adapter when file sharing and online audio was changing in the late 90s. Do you think the industry's finally figured it out?
No.
Where are we at with that?
Not on any level. Not on any level. Our fan base is very dedicated. I think that true fans don't want to rip off the artists that they love. And we've been huge supporters of file sharing. We've been huge supporters of internet exposure for just about every band out there. The problem isn't with the consumer, it's not with the fans, and the problem isn't with the bands. The problem is the record labels holding on, by their last breath, kicking and screaming to a retail infrastructure which no longer works or exists.
Why are they still hanging on to that so hard, though? I mean, it seems so obvious that it's not working.
Well, the answer is unfortunately just higher profit margin. You have a hard product. It has, it's easier to produce. It's easier to track. You have a higher profit margin of sales. It's the old retail infrastructure, and it's very, dinosaurs don't die easy. They go kicking and screaming, so it takes time.
Well, one last thing, I just want to address an internet rumor. Is it true that you're related to Howie Mandel?
No.
Because I've seen when you put the pictures side by side,
apparently we look alike.
Similar hairstyle.
Yeah, it's the bald thing.
The guy needs some more.
Well, he also has that little, the flavor saver thing.
Yeah, you got to get him a couple of those, though. That's
no, I think we're gonna stop there. This is mine. Anything else he does to get closer to looking like me is copyright infringement.
David, thank you so much, man.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Hey.
What's up? Hey, what's up? What's up? Are you ready for it?
We're from Anti-Flag.
Korn. I'm Chris Cornell.
Blue October.
From Buckcherry.
Howie D of the Backstreet Boys.
Everclear.
We're Sparta.
Fall Out Boy.
And you are watching the Adler Cast.
Adlercast.
Adlercast. The Adler Cast. Adlercast.
Adlercast. And you are watching the Adler Cast.
Peace out.